Good evening, everyone, and welcome tonight to the update. It is day number 166. Full night tonight, and so much interesting to share tonight on the update. 3 a.m. there in Germany. You run on my time schedule, man. Awesome. Welcome, Blake Parker. 2 days in a row. Fantastic. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Jeffrey Burnett, for all that you do, taking care of the chat. And it's going to be a good day. Welcome to all of you guys jumping in. I'm just looking over the chat and just want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the truth. Thank you for being willing to learn about the truth. And as you have learned, as long as things stay kind of clean and, well, absolutely clean and on the normal side, we'll even let a little dissension in here. And I don't even have to think about it. Moderators got it taken care of, and you guys do as well. So welcome to you. That's my brother-in-law checking in, Richmond, Virginia. So welcome to you guys. Going to be good, and we are loaded. So let's get right to it. I want to start first, and Zhenya is asleep tonight. He made a run today, and the run is already done and back. I will show you the run. Not really overly dangerous on this one. Of course, it's all dangerous, but he actually had to go pick up some stuff for preparation for what we're going to be doing. So, of course, can't do it in red. Let's go orange. This is our city here, and he had to make a run down to the Moldovan border right here. Many times we've been there. So that is what Zhenya's been doing. So he was on the road all day, picking up, delivering, and already back home safely and good to go. So there you have it. Now, right now, Stephen Terry, Olsgaard, I always want to say hello to you out there in California. Big supporters financially of what's going on in Ukraine, and we deeply appreciate it. Andre Tremblay, Montreal, Slava Ukraina, Geroim Slava, Pravina Bratushka. That is correct. Now, the other thing is right now, because tonight I'm talking about a lot of other things. We did a lot of work today on translation. I mean, a lot. We have 4 videos. No, he was not picking up a HIMARS, although I'm sure he would if he could. We got 4 videos tonight, and all of them required translation or some editing. So there's been a lot of film work done today, but these are vitally important to share the truth. So if you're here tonight, you do not want to miss these. If you're joining us later on Facebook, YouTube, Reddit, Twitch, Twitter, all of those sites, welcome to you as well. Make sure you check this out. It's unbelievable. Now, with that said, what is happening right now? Right now, and this is literally right now, guys, Kharkiv. I don't know what else to say other than I think what Zhenya said. They want to level Kharkiv. The problem with leveling Kharkiv, and this is with all due respect to other cities that have been leveled. For example, Severodonetsk. We followed that city for a month, and tonight we'll be taking a close look at it. But Severodonetsk, 130,000 people. Kharkiv, 1.5 million. It's a massive city, and it's just nonstop. And there are basically civilian fatalities every day. Every day. Tonight as well. Zaporizhzhia under extreme assault. And I know why, or I feel comfortable to know why Zaporizhzhia is under attack tonight. And you will see that answer coming up in just a few moments. So there's the 2 hottest spots. Of course, Mykolaiv being, it's nonstop, but your big boys happening right now with cruise missiles flying is Zaporizhzhia and Kharkiv. Now, with that said, let's get to it. We're going to start right here. I want to give an update on Vinitsa. Last night, I'll go back to this map one more time. Zhenya and I were talking about Vinitsa. Vinitsa is a close that's is a city that's very close to where we work. We do lots of work in Vinitsa. It's a beautiful, beautiful city. That, of course, if you remember, is the city that was struck in the downtown area where we lost so many people. July the 14th is the day that happened. I'm 99% sure. And here we are now, August the 8th, 9:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4:07 in Ukraine. Want to update you on the strike in Vinitsa. Vinitsa is right here. It's just the next major city over. Here's Khmelnytsky, and then here's Vinitsa. Vinitsa was struck yesterday, and as Zhenya shared with you, we have many friends that were close, real close. In fact, one of the guys that helped me with some translation today, his wife was very close to the cruise missile strikes. Now, fortunately, they're all okay, but unfortunately, there was some loss of life in Vinitsa yesterday. But Ukraine came out today and released why. Because you may not know this for sure. This information is not on the regular news. But here's what happened yesterday with that strike in Vinitsa. And that is the air raid sirens began after the strike hit. Just think about that one moment again. It hit, and then the air raid sirens went off. And people were a little... Well, of course, they were not prepared. B, it surprised them because the air raid warning systems in Ukraine work extremely well, as I show you maps of those. And they are going off all the time. But this one didn't. And Vinitsa is a major, it's basically the capital city of the Vinitsa Oblast or region. Well, today, Ukraine General Staff released why the air sirens did not go off, and that is because Vinitsa was struck with hypersonic missiles. Vinitsa was struck with the Kinjals yesterday. Now, just think about this for a moment. 12 times the speed of sound, Mach 12, range 1,240 miles. They were dropped off of airplanes. They were air to ground. And these are wicked. It's hard to understand the speed, but most of you watching this, you drive. I now also put everything in kilometers and miles so that our international audience can be on the same page with the Americans, because the Americans only understand miles, but most of the world's on kilometers. So that hypersonic missile is flying at 2.54 miles per second. Let that soak in a minute. 4.1 kilometers per second. You may say, well, okay, let me just do this. Watch this. And this is all just live, but 2.5 miles per second. 2, 5, 7.5, 10, 12.5, 15, 17.5, 20, 22.5, 25, 20. I can't even keep up. I was trying to watch the clock, the camera, and the phone. That's how fast that's flying. That is unfortunately why the air raid warning couldn't go off. It didn't know it was coming. So unfortunately, that is what happened. And if that begins to be unleashed more, because the reality is nobody in the world knows how many Russia has. Nobody knows. And if you saw the news today, Russia wanting to suspend the nuclear agreement with checking on each other between Russia and the United States, to suspend it. And I know that's on the nuclear side, but regardless, nobody knows what they have. Listen, I know that all the watchdog agencies will say, well, Russia has 2,400 nuclear warheads, and I'm making that number up. United States has 2,180, and this nation has that nation. I wouldn't believe anything coming out of the Kremlin. Let's just put it that way. Nobody knows what they have. After Vinitsa update, Ukraine confirms, and this was the title of the program tonight, Ukraine confirms key HIMARS strikes in the last 24 hours. So, this is what's so good about being here every night. 24 hours ago, we were watching and saying, you know what? HIMARS are hitting. They've hit the Antonovsky Bridge. They're in Kherson. And we knew they had hit it. I had good, reliable information. They had hit it. But you always want more. So, today, we got some video from Russia talking about the bridge. We have it translated. I'm going to show that to you tonight. But right here, last 24 hours alone, Antonovsky Bridge, a rail bridge just north of the Antonovsky Bridge, and the bridge at Novaya Kakhovka. Remember, when we talked about the first time the Antonovsky Bridge was struck, I shared with you guys that upriver, 20 or 30 miles, is the only other bridge. Ukraine hit it. They didn't destroy it, but they hit it. Now, come down to the bottom of the screen, Melitopol Air Base, that's a Russian base now, was struck very well with HIMARS. So 4 major targets hit. So how do we know that actually that bridge was hit? I showed you a dark picture. We hear rumors. We see it on the news. Let me show you this. We know the bridge was hit. Russia tells us.
Следователями Следственного комитета Российской Федерации проводится осмотр места происшествия, осмотр Антоновского моста Херсонской области. В ходе осмотра обнаружено 4 воронки от попадания ракеты, а также повреждения, которые получила строительная техника, производившая работы на данном мосту.
Now I'm going to let this run a minute because you're going to see some holes, folks. Look real good there. If you all the way down, you see the river. So how do we know that that bridge was struck by the Ukrainians and, of course, with the HIMARS? Because they told us. Of course, they're going to say that it was hit 4 times, but the majority of the damage was done by the construction crew making accidents, of course. Of course. The construction crew made that massive hole in it. I just want you to know. No, they recognize there's no way. You can't lie about that. They know they're hitting them. Now, one more further update on strikes behind the lines. This is dated 1 through 7 of August, the first week of August. This is what Ukraine is doing when they have the HIMARS. And I know you guys in here, there are also, what is it, the 270s, I think? All the military guys in here know. But the M270, or no, not M, the 270 MLRS, I think we also have there. We just all know about the HIMARS, but 21 enemy ammunition depots destroyed. And you can see all the dots there. They represent the different places that were struck. Of course, from Kherson, behind the lines, wrapping all the way up to Donetsk. 20 military bases of the occupiers destroyed, and 2 military infrastructure facilities destroyed. And that is relating to oil and fuel. So, over the first 7 days, these are the targets. This came out from Kyiv, updating Ukraine and the world. When that comes to me, for example, that's in Ukrainian, and the guys translate it. I do not know Ukrainian a little bit. Russian, I know. So Ukrainian stuff, they're translating all day long while you're at work and doing things. These guys are prepping this stuff to share with the world. So this was actually released from Kyiv in Ukrainian. My guys helped out a lot and translated that into English for us. Now, I have a question for you guys. Do you remember Severodonetsk? Do you remember Severodonetsk? If you have been watching this program and sticking with us, and we've been here since day one, you will have remembered Severodonetsk. Probably 30 days, we talked about Severodonetsk every day. If you look up in the right-hand corner, you see Severodonetsk circled. You see also the smaller circle, which is Lysychansk. Below that, I have a 40. And below that, I have a 25. Now, I'm going to explain it to you. For a month, we watched Severodonetsk. And the front lines and the occupied territory had not reached Severodonetsk. We were telling the stories much like we're telling now about Bakhmut and Konstantinovka and Kramatorsk and Slavyansk, that they were just shelling, but it was not occupied and the ground forces hadn't moved in yet. We talked that way for Severodonetsk. We really thought with Ukrainian forces having a very good defensive line in Lysychansk, we would have been able to hold that. You guys remember the river, the deep gorges. It's very difficult to traverse. It's a wasteland. It's brutal. Well, we watched day by day. Severodonetsk was finally taken, fallen, and destroyed. Lysychansk I have circled there just so you know that is the city where many of the refugee kids came from that Zhenya was serving at our refugee summer camps for 2 weeks. Most of them came from Lysychansk. Anyway, the 40 and the 25. The red lines of occupation have now moved 40 kilometers west. That would be 25 miles. So when you're thinking about and you look at that map and you say, okay, but how far is that? It's 40 kilometers, 25 miles. Now, I received a video yesterday from Severodonetsk, a young lady that is still there, Ukrainian, never left. She put a video out. It was sent to me. She's just walking around the town. And my friends, it's gone. Yes, ruins are still standing. There are people still trying to live there a little bit, but it's gone. There is no way under the sun that this city can be restored without being leveled. Maybe a building, 2, 3, 4 here and there, but all the infrastructure is destroyed. Most of the buildings are destroyed, damaged beyond repair. There's no water. There's no electric. There's no gas. There's nothing. And there will be nothing. We are heading into fall, then into winter, then into the muddy spring. And basically, you'll be another year of nothing. That city is gone. Now, the only thing that will resurrect it is when the war and international communities come in and say, hey, I want to help out. We want to help rebuild this city. And Italy adopts Severodonetsk and puts millions and millions of dollars into it. That doesn't happen. These cities are never coming back. They're going to be just like Abkhazia. We've talked about that many times. I want to share that video with you tonight. This was Severodonetsk 2 days ago. There you have it. That's a quick little look there at Severodonetsk. This young lady got the video out. I put a little music behind it today and shared it with the world. Gone. Gone, gone, gone. You now understand after seeing that why I was saying what I was saying. You can't rebuild that. No way. So when people tell you that, you know what, Ukraine's bombing their own cities and destroying their own cities, baloney. Baloney. That is complete scorched earth, devastating, and it's gone. And tonight we pay tribute to those Ukrainians, thousands that lost their lives, their livelihood, and their families in Severodonetsk. It's terrible. Now, let's go here. Did you see the man trying to scoop up rainwater to drink? Yes. There's no water. But listen, as Jania says, and this actually comes from President Zelensky, he says anybody that is doing the type of stuff that we do each night, updating, telling the truth, he said, share it, tell the truth. Share it, tell the truth. It's the only thing we have. We have to fight the trash that's out there. Just keep sharing the truth. Now, this is crazy, guys. Was that a Russian Orthodox church I saw destroyed? More proof of Putin's godlessness. Well, it was an Orthodox church, yes. Was it Russian or Ukrainian? Most likely it was Russian patriarch, although very 50% chance it could have been Ukrainian patriarch. And I can do a teaching on the orthodoxy later between Ukrainian and Russian Orthodox. But yes, it was an Orthodox church. Zelensky 24 hours ago set parameters, maybe 30 hours ago now, that if there are any referendums in any location, that includes Kherson, Zaporizhzhia, Donetsk, Lugansk, and they're already talking about Kharkiv. If there are any referendums, there will not only be zero negotiations between Ukraine and Russia, but Zelensky went further and said there will also be no permitted third party, or we will not listen to them, third party negotiations from friendly countries, whether it be Turkey or the US, Germany, France, Estonia, doesn't matter. No third party. If there is a referendum, there will be no more talking, period. That is what Zelensky said 30 hours ago. Less than 24 hours after he said it, Zaporizhzhia stuck their hand in the cookie jar. The guy you see on the left there, his name is Galater. He is a traitor. That is Benedict Arnold. Look on his lapel. He's got a Ukrainian flag. But as soon as the first bullet flew in Zaporizhzhia, he pledged allegiance to the Russian Federation. And now he is the leader of the Zaporizhzhia region that is occupied. The head of this region signed an order to hold a referendum on the reunification of the region with Russia. One day after Zelensky said, I don't want to hear it. Zelensky stated less than 24 hours ago that if Russia holds a referendum in the temporarily occupied territories, this will close all opportunities for negotiations with our country. And at the same time, Dmitry Peskov, who is Dmitry Peskov? Dmitry Peskov is the press secretary for the Kremlin, for Vladimir Putin. He is the mouthpiece, just like the press secretary for the president of the United States or whatever nation you're from. That is Peskov. In Russia, Peskov states it is not the Russian Federation holding the referendum in the occupied territories of Zaporizhzhia and Kherson, but it is clearly the will of the people. Now, I'm going to show you guys something on video. I've got it translated. This is going to blow you away. Peskov stated, and I don't have it in quotes, but this is what he said. I could get the exact quote. He said, it is not the Russian Federation holding the referendums in the occupied territories of Zaporizhzhia and Kherson, but it is clearly the will of the people. So you've got it. Now, let me show you this, and then we're going to put down what Peskov said. Here you go. Just watch first. This is in Melitopol. Melitopol. today.
Подписываю распоряжение Центральной избирательной комиссии Запорожской области о начале и подготовке проведения референдума по воссоединению Запорожской области с Российской Федерацией.
То, чтобы референдумы быть.
Обернитесь назад, посмотрите.
Обернитесь назад, посмотрите, пожалуйста. Единогласно.
Пожалуйста, можно фотографию сделать, друзья? Чтобы никто не сказал.
It's why you come here. We show you the truth. We translate it. You're not having to listen to a language you can't understand. That's exactly what happened. Now, I remind you, and I'm going to have to talk over the video because I want to still shot it. Remember what Peskov said. It's not Russia doing this. It's those people down there in Kherson, Zaporizhzhia. It's their will to do this. Yeah, I'm sure those 300 people, that may be their will, but that is the extreme 0.00 percentage, 1% max of people that would. And most likely those folks got a little bit of rubles when they left the building. I can't say I guarantee you, but I would highly suspect that they were paid when they left. Now, I'm going to pause this on a couple of places and show you why Peskov is inaccurate. So look right here. You see the little camera? I'm going to pause it right there. Over on the left, the back sign, it says, "Мы один народ." In Russian, what that means is, we are one nation. What flag is there? What colors are there? Do you think the people down there are making these graphics? Of course not. Мы один народ. We are one nation. And then the sign in the middle says, "Мы вместе с Россией." We together with Russia. That is what it says. And then if you come, let's see if I can find the translation here. I signed the order of the Zaporizhzhia region. He takes it down. He shows it people. It had the Russian logo and colors on the document. And then the referendum preparation on the reunification of the Zaporizhzhian region with the Russian Federation. So I don't know what Peskov is talking about, but Russia is all over this, and it's absolutely obvious. Now, Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant continues to be the focal point of this war right now. Yes, Kharkiv. Yes, grain. The East. Slavyansk, Kramatorsk, Melitopol. All of these areas are important. But over the last few days, Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant has become a focal point because Ukraine, I showed you video last night, Zhenya from inside Ukraine confirmed it last night. That power plant is absolutely mined. It is full of Russian munitions. They're using it as warehouses. And Russia is shelling the plant and the city of Energodar. They are blaming it on Ukraine. Ukraine is not shelling the nuclear power plant. Ukraine is not shelling Energodar. So here's what come out today. And if you look, I have the official, you see the blue check mark, Twitter statements that came out from Energoatom. This is from the Ukrainian energy company. You see it there. You may not be able to read it, but it says Energoatom. That is the energy company that is Ukrainian. You see the Ukrainian flag, then you see the blue check mark. This is their official means of communication. That tweet says that Russia has directly stated that they have mined it, and If they can't have it, nobody will have it. The Russian Federation plans to have full control or eliminate the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant directly from Energoatom. In his statement, the head of Russia's Radiation, Chemical, and Biological Defense Forces, Major General Valery Vasilyev, who currently commands the garrison at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, said that this plant will either be Russian land or a scorched desert. He then went on and confirmed that the plant is mined. My friends, this is terrorism. This is nuclear terrorism. This is holding the world, and at the minimum, the nations that would be affected immediate in those zones, if there was a disaster, hostage over this plant. They have already disconnected reactor 4, as Zhenya shared with you, that shoots juice, electricity to the south. They are looking to have it all or there be nothing. Now, you say, okay, well, how can you prove that even more? Well, I'm glad you asked. How I can prove it more is this way. Podolyak, out of President Zelensky's office, confirms the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. Now, unfortunately, you may or may not have seen this, but poor CBS News in America just put their foot in their mouth because they were putting out garbage that they did not believe this, that there was no way that any rational person would mine a nuclear power plant. And no rational person would store munitions and fire shells. Today alone, 4 people injured by shelling on the plant. One lady is on death's door. She was shelled, or in the shelling, shrapnel ripped her chest all to pieces. This is the truth. They're in the hospital, and that one lady, the other 3 are going to make it, no problem. This lady is life or death. These things are happening. So Podolyak responds. CBS puts out their garbage, and I have the translation of that tweet on the right. He says, why the disbelief in nuclear blackmail? We have confirmed mining of the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant territory. We have confirmed storage of munitions in reactor buildings. We have confirmed direct shelling and threats to leave a scorched earth. And I didn't translate it, but at the bottom, if you see where he has highlighted at CBS News, the word before that says, are you listening, CBS News? I don't understand why people do not want to believe the truth about what is happening in Ukraine, but this is the truth, and we tell it every day. Now, okay. I've been sitting on these 3 pictures for 1 week, and I would not share them. Why? This is the construction site in a theater in Mariupol, and it's been confirmed so many times over the last week from people in Mariupol that have communicated out to free Ukraine that says they are building prison cells, cages, holding tanks inside our theater. And the talk is there are going to be military tribunals, and they are going to try the Azov defenders one by one on a stage in front of a crowd. And I looked at the pictures for the last 7 days, and I said, okay, I know it's confirmed, but I don't think I can share this one because this doesn't sound right. I mean, I don't put it past them, but that could be building a cage for a drama. You know, they're having dramas there starting in September in the main drama theater that they destroyed. That could be a guy building a chicken coop. We try to tell the truth. So I waited, and I sat on it, and today I sit no more. Pushilin said that the DPR, Donetsk People's Republic, wants to hold a tribunal over the captured defenders of Azovstal in Mariupol. Where did he say it? And who did he say it to? Pushilin, the leader of Donetsk People's Republic, a puppet for Putin, was on Russia One being interviewed. And he made these direct statements. Do I have it for you? Of course I have it for you.
Все мы видели кадры якобы подготовки в Мариуполе трибунала над азовцами и другими военными преступниками. В одном из залов монтируются клетки для подсудимых. Можете ли вы подтвердить подлинность этих кадров или опровергнуть? Ведется ли действительно подготовка к трибуналу? Как скоро он состоится?
Могу точно подтвердить то, что подготовка к трибуналу ведется, ровно так, как мы об этом заявляли, то есть ровно так, как мы это и планируем. То есть трибунал неизбежен, и да, один из первых трибуналов будет в Мариуполе. Готовимся по всем направлениям, в том числе готовятся и помещения, готовится и вся доказательная база.
That's why I chose to show the photos tonight. I've had them for a week, and they kept saying out of Mariupol, they're going to hold a trial here. They're going to put these guys on trial in Mariupol. I said, okay, I got to have more than those 3 pictures. Well, we have it. That was Pushilin. You recognize the guy interviewing him, and it was Russia One. That was today being interviewed. Translation, you see it. It's happening. Last couple of things for tonight. Lebanon, after everything that has happened, refuses shipment. 10 days or so ago, a week ago, we celebrated together the Razoni ship. I even had it. I had the name of it, and I was telling you it was the first ship leaving the Ukrainian port of Odessa en route to Turkey, and then from there on to Lebanon. We talked about it. We can go look at the video. Well, it arrived today. Something's going on. Lebanon refused to take the Ukrainian food, it was corn, from the ship Razoni due to the delay in delivery, 5 months late. The fault lies on Ukraine. That line should be there. The fault lies on Ukraine. That is what Lebanon said. And now Ukraine is currently looking for another buyer for this shipload of grain, or of corn, rather. I mean, really? Lebanon, you're starving. Beirut is starving. I know there was a Sherlock Holmes statement. Something's afoot. I can't remember the whole statement, but something's afoot somewhere. Your nation is starving and you refuse it. Finally, last thing for today. We've been talking about it. We've been watching it, and we will continue. The European Union and NATO leaders are starting to get nervous. These headlines were everywhere today in Europe. I just grabbed one of them, threw it over top of a picture here. I read the articles. I looked at them. We already knew this. We've talked about it, but now these nations are publicly talking about it. Alarm mounts in Western capitals over Turkey's deepening ties with Russia. Turkey, a member of NATO, Russia, a terrorist state, allowing their tourists to come, paying for gas and oil in the ruble, inviting Russia to come build a nuclear power plant. I have one question for you as we end the program tonight and the update. If NATO got involved, okay, if it happened, and now we have NATO troops pushing into Ukraine, American airplanes in the sky to take care of this war, what would Turkey do? You say, well, they would have to go. They're in the agreement with NATO. That agreement has never been tested on a major level. Little skirmishes here and there, real minor stuff. Oh, yeah, we'll put a coalition there. We'll put 3,000 NATO troops over there and 5,000 over there, but not a war. And we're in a war. What would Turkey do? They've got gains in both camps. We shall see. We've been watching it, not weeks, months. I went back today when I pulled that picture out of the files, and that was a picture I used about 2 months ago, and the story was, what on earth is Turkey doing? We'll see. Anyway, Slava Ukraina. Glory to Ukraine. Gerom Slava, Slava Bogu. That means praise God. It's a good night. Great update. Yeah, JJB. You know what? First of all, first time I've seen your name here. So welcome to you, JJB. And you are right. Turkey is looking after Turkey and no one else. It's kind of the poem I've used for 166 days. I have nicknamed Turkey Humpty Dumpty. And if you are an American, you know. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. And all the king's horses and all the king's men could not put Humpty Dumpty back together again. That's how we see Turkey. I think it's very accurate and not meant to be derogatory. It's just the way it is. You better pick a side. I think in the Bible, Joshua said it this way: choose this day whom you're going to serve, but we're going to choose to serve the Lord. And Turkey, you better figure out what camp you're going to be in. Folks, you are fully updated. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And great update. Tomorrow, should have Jacob back with us. He'll be rested up and ready to go. It's tough on him, of course, with these schedules we keep, but we're doing it. Thank you all for being here. You're fully updated. Day 166. Be blessed. See you soon. 23 hours.